Hello, hello!
Hi.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Manifest Actual Play. Before we get into any sort of recap or intro or anything, Addie, do we have any announcements for today?
Yes, so many that I couldn't write them all down.
Mm.
Wait, how does that? Hold on. Like it would make
um,
your hand hurt?
yeah. I didn't. There isn't enough paper. I don't know. Anyway, continuing on. Yes. So, for those of you who uh, uh, are joining us for the first time or for the first time in a while, you might notice that our layout is a little different. First of all, we have this wonderful character art that Kate May made for us, and she is amazing, and we love our character art. And so that's the first thing that's different. And then the second thing that's different is our little name placards, which might be like right here somewhere. Anyway, yeah, they are um, different colored because it is Pride, and also we wanted to do a little bit to show our support for the protests that are happening all over the world in support of the Black Lives Matter movement and general equality. So we have a couple of places that if you've got the spare time or cash to donate to these organizations, they are organizations that we really care about, and they are the Trevor Project, which supports LGBTQ plus members of our society with a focus on uh, teens, adolescents, and people who are just figuring out uh, who they are, and they are uh, allied with a bunch of other really great movements like the It Gets Better Project and things like that. That uh, to support these young people who are much more likely to commit suicide or be find themselves in disadvantageous position because of their LGBTQ status, LGBTQ plus status. And so, if you have the time, they've got a lot of resources if you want to learn more or how to get involved, and that is thetrevorproject.org. um, there are so many Black Lives Matter adjacent organizations. You can always find your local chapter by typing in Black Lives Matter and your city, or or just the Black Lives Matter movement. They do have a nice page of kind of like all of the organizers that you can reach out to learn more and resources. But the thing that we really feel passionate about is Black Mamas Matter .org. Black women are 4 times more likely to die than other women due to maternal complications within the with during their maternity or the year after that. And so the organization is um, basically provides allyship and support for those women who need more voices supporting them because they know their bodies. And so, if you can go to blackmamasmatter.org, it is a wonderful organization, and they've got so much info, and they could use their support. They're a national um, uh, organization. I feel very strongly about it, and so I don't know what to say. But if you've got the time, uh, the please do the minimum and go and read their literature. Uh, and that's what we've got. And then after all of the time and energy that you've spent on those things, if you want to throw us a little bit of a support, you can subscribe to our channel and follow us on uh, Twitter and Facebook, and you can find us all over the internet at Manifest the RPG. Um, and if you are a Amazon Prime subscriber, you do get one complimentary included Twitch channel subscription, but you do have to renew it every 30 days. So if you subscribe to us that way, make sure to check every week to make sure that you're re-upping your subscription. It is free, but you do have to put in that little bit extra effort.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. And all the money that comes to us through the subscriptions, um, uh, uh, all the money that comes to us through subscriptions goes directly back in to the stream to get us cool art and overlays and better equipment to make our stream better for you guys. And then okay. Well, I just got a text.
That's
The
for
other
next week. Don't
thing,
worry about it.
the other thing that there's another org that we totally talked about, and I, because I didn't write it down, forgot to mention because I am that person, is an organization that helps Black trans people with housing, jobs, and health, and it is blacktrans.org. They're currently doing a coronavirus fundraiser, and in the on the anniversary, I think it's the anniversary, it might have been yesterday, of the Stonewall riots. It would be great if you guys could go check out their stuff. They are a really worthwhile organization, especially because people of color who are trans are even more likely to suffer the slings and arrows of discrimination than not. So if you could, again, we would greatly appreciate it. For those of you who are interested in an update on Manifest, you can go to our Kickstarter page. We've put we've been doing cool lore updates a couple of times a week. We were able to put up 3 updates this past week, covering 1 path, 1 history, and 2 very weird animals on Manifest. You might remember from our first or second episode, we encountered some axe handle hounds, and you can get more info about how weird axe handle hounds are if you go to our Kickstarter page, kickstarter.com/manifest-the-RPG, because Kickstarter, to read all about it. For those of you who haven't yet backed or pre-ordered with us, you can go to our backer kit page, which is backerkit.com/manifest the RPG. That is where you can order our sick dice sets and our cool pins, including a waypoint pin, which I am obsessed with and have put all over my bag. And then also our cool little Manifest logo, which was designed by one of our artists who is amazing, whose name is Andrew Thompson. There we go. And he's done a lot of our art, which you can also preview in those updates that I talked about previously. And we still have our pre-order store open, but it does sound like we will have an actual production update maybe for you next week. It's not 100%, but we are hearing inklings. So no promises, but
Chat's blowing up now. Great job.
but maybe good news is coming. So that is, I think, all of the updates and announcements, and I did it.
Woo! All right. Fantastic. So, before we jump into a recap, let's go ahead and watch a little character intros.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hey,
hey! Fantastic. So, recap time. Kinsey, Pax, and Roland are in the Badlands. They finished up their business with the town of Soldina after saving Kinsey's mom from Kinsey's dad and getting involved in a nomad turf war. And they then headed eastward towards the town of Las Brasas because during their journeys they found a letter on a dead man and it was a letter that seemed to be written to a woman in Las Brasas. On their way eastward, they became besieged almost by a snallygaster, a terrible dragon of the night type creature that almost ate Kinsey a little bit.
Oh yeah, it came very close.
Yeah, it came very close to eating Kinsey only through Roland's insane driving capabilities and Pax's otherworldly strength were they able to get to Kinsey in time and extricate him from the massive tentacles of the snallygaster. And then from there, they were able to do enough damage to it that it seemed to pull away for a time. And then they drove like crazy for a really long time, overnight, every night for a while, until they got out of snallygaster territory. You are heading eastward. There's basically a mountain range in between you and Las Brasas. It's the Punched Peaks, and on this side, your side of the Punched Peaks, there is a trade depot slash settlement known as Tobias Station, and you guys are about 2 to 3 days out from Tobias Station at this moment. Is anyone getting into anything during that journey? The 2 to 3 days between here and Tobias Station? Or are you guys not interested in stopping by Tobias Station? You just want to drive all the way around the Punch Peaks without, stopping for gas? Hey, speaking of which, hey, Roland.
We should probably get gas, just in case.
Go ahead.
It's so hard to tell on Manifest how much gas is in the tank. It feels like just variable amounts of time you can go before you even have to check. Did you have premium fuel or just like regular gas?
It was just regular because it's just for Cho's truck.
Well, we're out of it.
Okay, cool. So if you don't get gas this session, wherever your vehicle is, it will run out of gas and become useless.
I feel like we should stop at Tobias Station. I don't know.
That sounds like a good idea.
We should probably tell them about that plane that crashed in the desert and for no other reason.
So yeah, they also found a plane crashed in the desert.
That did happen, yes.
If we're like out of Snallygaster, the Night Dragon zone, we're out of the Night Dragon zone.
You are no longer in
probably.
Snallygaster
I mean,
country.
we could wait around and find out if you want to. But...
Nope. Yeah, if it's safe, I'll probably start spending some downtime working on some things that I've got in my crafting journal here on this fresh character sheet.
Absolutely.
This fresh,
Must
crisp,
be
unmarked
nice.
character sheet.
For reference, I'm sure your sheet used to look something like
A
this.
little beat up.
Yeah. So this is mine. It's like totally wrecked.
I'm
Everywhere.
raced through in like 3 points. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a paper problem, not a problem with the sheet.
Look,
No,
you can't
it
take
is
you
a
not
pa- it's
printing on your
100%
sheet
a paper
as like
problem. It's a very good character sheet, but paper is weak.
So what do you wanna work on during this time? You let Pax take the wheel for a bit.
Okay, remind me. Let's see. So a class 2. So it's a couple days, so I could probably finish a class 2 thing. Or I could finish a class 3 thing with my Omni tool in the 3 days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. If you roll long enough, yeah.
Okay, I want to build the better seatbelts and the improved steering for the car, but we have downtime, and there's enough time that I could finish this whole mag belt that Pax wants.
Yes.
Yeah, so I start building a mag belt.
Cool. What's that? That's a class 3 or class 4 item?
It is a class 3.
Okay, perfect.
How many cubes of each kind does it take?
Well, didn't you already started on it, so you spent the cubes.
No.
Oh, you haven't even started on it.
No, I just wrote down a bunch of things that I knew I wanted to make.
Got it. So this is your first roll on this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the mag belt is going to take 3 machinery cubes and 6 tech cubes.
Oh, that's easy. Easy.
And then since it's your first roll, were you wanting to cut corners on this, or were you wanting to?
No.
Okay. And since tech is the primary resource, you can either roll technology or machinery at a -2.
I will roll technology because I'm better at it.
And so each roll will take about a day and a half time, since your Omni tool makes it so you can do this a little bit faster than normal. And
Hey, I'm gonna spend some grit here.
Okay.
I will play to the gallery. Or actually, it's the same. I twist the knife.
Okay.
I have 6 hits. I do it.
That's all you need. So because you rolled a number of times well below the failure threshold, you make an excellent quality mag belt. So the mag belt creates a magnetic-based gravity field around the wearer, and when you activate the mag belt, it alters the wearer's center of gravity to an adjacent body of metal. This allows users to walk on walls and ceilings made out of metals as if it were natural ground. As an added benefit, the wearer becomes incredibly difficult to knock down or lift away from said metal surface. So while your mag belt is activated and you are attached to a piece of metal, whether it be normal ground or a wall or a car or whatever, because it is an excellent quality, any tests that attempt to knock you down or pull you away, Pax, are at a -4.
Cool.
Hey, it turns out I had like a third of a mag belt over here and a third of a mag belt over there, and I had just never the twain had met. So then I built a buckle, and here you go.
Aw. Roland. Thanks. I mean, I know I asked for it, but like I didn't think that you were gonna give me anything.
Well, you seemed very happy leaping from car to car.
Yeah, I'm really happy. And we built that trailer. I'm so excited. But I could do laps. Do you think I could do laps?
I don't think you couldn't. Whether or not you should, who's to say?
That's great. Well, thanks. It's been a minute since anybody's got me anything, that's really nice.
It's pretty much since that bill I made you, right?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Kinsey, there's a thing back there for you.
I think.
Yeah, you look down and like under the like kind of squashed and under the like driver's seat, there's like a brown paper like thing with like a really like it's like a half a bow, like and it's like that box in Ace Ventura at the very beginning. Like that's kind of what it looks like.
Sure.
Just totally smashed up.
Oh, is this it? I go ahead and open it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's got um a pair of shoes, a jacket, and like a ruffly shirt, and a tie, and like a poncho.
It's for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't make them, you know.
Well, sure,
But yeah, no, I kind of made them because I stole them.
you know, you could say there was some work involved.
Yeah. So I stole them from your dad cuz like if you wanted, you could like he was a jerk and we hate him and we killed him.
Of
Right?
course.
But you know, I wish I had something from my dad who was a really good guy. Um and
Yeah.
and um and like he had like really good taste for dressing even if it doesn't, and so I thought maybe even though like he's still a part of you and there was, like I took the best parts of him, which was his
Was his
clothes
wardrobe?
Just his fashion sense. Yes, and I think it's about right.
and like I felt like there was like a simile. Is simile right?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No.
Oh,
The sentence you've said so far.
that like because it's like his shoes and you're his son and like there's like you wear his shoes metaphor.
That sounds better, actually.
It's still not really.
Well, he became like a really good leader. Well, not a really good leader, but a leader. And you were like, I want to be a leader someday. And like, I could be the leader of this pack. And you can be because you have his shoes or something.
Also, Kinsey, you're like kind of like trying on, like you're testing it. You're like, oh, you hold up the ruffle and it looks like it might fit. The jacket may need to get let loose a little bit to like fit your shoulders. May need some alterations, but you're actually not bad with a needle and thread, so you could probably like augment these to fit you a little bit better. But you throw on the poncho, and it kind of like hangs nice and good on your shoulders. You notice it's got like kind of like grooves in the fabric, and there's like these little like parts of it that are that kind of, for one thing, kind of weigh it down a little bit, like these things within the fabric, and also are like kind of like hard. And as you go to fiddle with some of them, your thumb slides on a like a control, and these like little lights light up on various parts of the poncho where these like kind of like discs are sewn into the fabric, and that light like moves up and down those grooves that you saw throughout the poncho, and you watch as it like replicates the chair that you're sitting in, and cloaks you against the terrain you're in, like basically making camouflage, as this is a photo replicant poncho.
It's an invisible poncho.
Yeah, I thought that would be good for you because you're kind of really bad at sneaking.
I'm really bad at sneaking.
Yeah, you're so bad, and I can't teach it to you to be better. So, like, you're beyond.
I might not be able to be quiet, but at least they can't like see me, more or less, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So, like, it could put, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Addie, do you remember what the quality was of that?
3.
It's an excellent quality photo replicant poncho. Okay, so
Right.
Utilizing fibers from some of Manifest's natural wildlife, photo replicant ponchos integrate with these sensors to basically create this like camouflage, creating both the mimicry of the color and texture of the scenery around you. When it is active, anyone who's trying to see you is at a -1 to see you. And
Okay.
because it's an excellent quality photo replicant poncho, when you're using it, you get a +3 to any sneak tests to avoid being seen.
All right.
And Pax has got like a big old smile on her face, like she's waiting for you to like find the next thing.
Okay.
But there's nothing else in the box.
Well, thank you so much. This is incredible, I say, and I kind of like put the box on the dashboard.
No, there's one more thing in there.
I open the box and kind of like turn it upside down.
Oh no. Oh wait. Shoot. And I like reach into like my boot and like while I'm driving and we swerve a little bit and then
Okay.
and I come out.
Roland just casually catches the wheel.
And I out of my boot, there is a not my sock, but a sock wrapped like other thing that I got for you.
Oh.
Got for you.
I open it up.
It's a walkie-talkie.
Do you have the other one?
No. But your sister does.
Whoa! Is this like a long range walkie-talkie or just when out?
No, but when they're close, you'll be able to hear the static. And because, it's the one that I pulled off that guy that I jetpacked to the ground. And like it was the only thing that was salvageable off of him. It's his radio. And I've kept it. And I thought maybe, because like it's like your family. Because, like you left your family to be with us, which is weird. And then like, so. Yeah.
This is amazing. Does it have like a crank charge, or how am I going to keep this thing charged?
It's manifested just works.
It's got a little
Batteries,
solar panel.
Solar panel. Thank you. Well, I'll be sure to keep this out. I'll leave it on all the
That
time.
thing
I
saw
never know
the
where.
sun 8 months ago. It's fine for a year.
This is incredible. Thank you so much, Fags.
You're welcome.
Means so much. You're my best friend in our group of friends.
Oh.
Thank you so much. I'm so touched by this.
Yeah, you and Roland are equally my best friends in our little group. Roland also. Can you grab Roland? It's also it's behind yours. Where
sure.
yours.
I dig around and I pass it to Roland.
Okay, it is a similarly just like malformed box.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you open it up, and there's a bunch of maps and papers.
Okay.
And
I have a bunch of maps and papers.
You can put Koenigs in front of it.
Got it.
And a poor quality medium firearm. And 18 spurs.
Oh my God.
Okay, a bad gun.
I don't expect you to fire it anyway.
I've never written just the Roman numeral 1 next to a piece of gear I own and intend to use on Manifest.
Well, you spend some machinery cubes on it, you can increase its quality.
I have one. This is very nice, Pax. All of this is wonderful.
Yeah. I also there's another thing, but it's kind of I kind of gave it to Umbra, so I'm sorry. But Umbra looked cold and like he needed a blanket. So I gave him the blanket I stole for you. But I stole a blanket for you.
I very much appreciate the thought. Can I give you just a tip for the future? If you've already given away a gift for someone else, you can just not tell them.
Well, we could wash it and then it could be yours again.
Like at that moment, you like look in the rearview mirror and you see like through the slots in the wagon, Umbra is like shifting around and like sits down and then like kind of rolls and shifts, and you watch as one of his antlers just tears a massive hole in the blanket.
Or I could get you a different one.
If you want to, that's great. Please don't feel obligated to. This is lovely. I say, holding up the spurs and the maps and papers.
I don't know. I thought you could read them or something.
No, I will. I'm being genuine.
Okay, I just you never can tell.
I
It's
know.
beads.
It's professional hazard. I get it. So there's like a day and a half left, right?
Yeah. There's a day and a half left between here and Tobias Station.
Cool. I make more stuff. I would
Also,
like to work on.
If you wanted to salvage the medium firearm, you could get a couple machinery cubes out of it.
Yeah, I'll do that if it's not going to take too long.
No. Let me see. It's a class 3 item. So salvaging it with your Omni tool will take an hour and a half.
I do it.
Okay, you don't have to. You do have to roll for it. I just know that you'll get it. But go ahead.
It's machinery, yeah?
Yep. Did you get at least 2 successes?
Hold on. I rolled phenomenally badly, but the truly enormous reliability from the Omni tool and then my 8 in finesse means yes.
Cool. You've salvaged. You can remove that from your inventory and have 2 machinery cubes for it.
Yeah, I rolled like just straight down the line, like 13, 18, 19, 20.
Oh my god.
Well,
Okay, you said 2?
Yep.
Cool. I would like to work on the safety features of this car, by which I mean making new safety features for this car.
Okay.
Is that... So how many cubes, and is it technology or machinery?
So it's surely machinery. It's gonna take 3 machinery cubes. It's a class.
Sorry, how many?
3 machinery cubes, and it's a class 2 item.
Yeah. That's less cubes than I anticipated. That's great. Does vehicle mechanic apply to this?
Yes, because it's a vehicle mod.
Cool. So how many hits is the success on a class 2?
4.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just spend 2 grit, twist the knife, get it done.
Cool. You do so in 6 hours.
Yes, we pull over for the night. Okay, now, no one be mad. We haven't had airbags the whole time.
Ka-chink, as he installs them.
hey, Roland. When your car doesn't have safety features, but no one noticed, and then you give it.
No,
safety
it did.
features,
It did. These
you
are
don't
better.
have to tell anyone.
No, see, here's the thing. It had seatbelts, but they made the seatbelts so bad there wasn't room to put airbags in. So I've made them better. It's sort of a brag, you see. And that's why I had to tell everyone.
Got it.
You notice that Roland has like a quick release, like 4-strap like harness, like that like converges in an X on his chest. You can just like press it and get out of the car instantly.
So I'm just gonna. I know mechanically what I've done is I've ripped out the old safety features and put in new safety features. I'm just gonna add the 3
Sure.
next to the
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you gain an extra mod point.
And now Now I put in the improved steering because there's room for it.
Yeah. All right. Improved steering. Oh, that is the wrong spot. Improved steering is going to take up 4 machinery cubes. It's a class 2 item.
Cool. All right. I am out of my personal cubes, but it was worth it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Oh wait, was it? It was 4. I actually maybe didn't need to spend the grid on that one because I had. No, I would have had to play to the gallery for that to explode. That's fine. Cool. I will twist the knife, get it done.
All right. And then early that day you pull over for a second. Everyone relieves himself on the side of the road. Kinsey puts starts up a little fire. You eat some food, and during that time, Roland has basically removed the entire dashboard of the car and is just making slight tweaks to the lines that go to the steering wheel and to
the
and
plus
to the
one down the
wheels.
line, right?
Yeah. All of your handling throughout your entire acceleration track on your vehicle, you get a +1 on everything. On the handling. Yeah, and then he goes back and finally fine-tunes those 2 hover pods that he reattached after they got damaged, and he finds a way to make them more efficient and have a little bit more power.
Okay. The car is done.
Cool.
Yeah. And you continue on your way to Tobias Station. And about not too long after this, actually, not too long after Roland makes the final touches on the car, you're a little less than a day out from Tobias Station. Basically, you'll be there by the end of today. It's still relatively early in the day, maybe, around midday. And as you're driving, Kinsey is, of course, I assume, listening to some music.
Yes,
You have you have what is it, Joey Rivers playing out a somber tune as you drive over the expansive Badlands. Shoot, what was the one? My loneliness is killing me. I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. And over the sound of that, I don't know if Roland and Pax have employed their noise-canceling earbuds at this moment. It's a gentler tune than a Bobby Klein jaunty song.
I've been thinking about this because Roland doesn't hate music. I think he hates Bobby Klein.
This one's a little bit it's got a little bit more soul to it. And over the sound of that music kind of coming off of Kinsey's player, you hear, "Help! Help!"
Roll down the window.
Gotta get stuff good. Fold down the weapons rack. Put all the things on.
And you look a little to the north, and you see standing on a rocky outcropping. There's a beleaguered-looking man. You can't really make out a lot of detail from this distance, but he seems to have seen the dust cloud your car's been kicking up. And he is waving his hands frantically, and then he slips a little bit and then pulls back as you see the movement at the base of this rocky outcropping, and you're not 100% sure what it is at first, but when you kind of draw your attention a little bit more to it, you realize he is surrounded by axe handle hounds.
Oh no.
And one just tried to like get a bite of his ankle as he like scrambled back up onto the like this pointed rock that he's found safety on top of.
Well, guess I better climb in the back and shoot some things, right?
We might. This is crazy, I know, coming from me, but we might be able to just get to him without killing all those guys. Those little
The murder dogs.
murder dogs, yeah.
Right. I'm honestly glad to hear you say that. I've always been partial to accidental hounds myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've definitely almost been killed by them before, but like
Well,
that doesn't
that
have
we
anything to do
all.
with this.
Probably not the same hounds.
But I bet you we could get them to like. I have my footbridge.
Okay.
We could maybe get him to walk across the footbridge to us. I don't know. I don't know if they could like kill.
I mean, they
Car.
can jump, yes.
I mean, I don't. I say as I'm like starting to just drive a circle around this as we figure out our plan of attack.
Please help.
I'll like pull the top down. Hold on a minute, we're figuring it out.
Please don't take too long.
We could
mean-
probably like drive up and you could like shoot your guns a bunch just like in the air. I don't know enough.
I'm not
about
opposed to killing them. I just like that
Can-
seems like a lot of them.
Can I make a survival roll to see if I can just scare them off?
Well, to do something like that, it would be a wrangle roll, unless you're just wanting to roll a survival to see if it is feasible for people to
Yes.
scare off axe handles.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
So,
And this definitely is experienced traveler, so you get your +2 for recalling an aspect of nature.
thank you very much.
Don't worry, we're very capable. We're figuring it out. You're doing great.
That's 3 hits.
Yeah, so you know that accidental hounds are ultimately scavengers. By a look, this man seems to be alone. They probably like ambushed him at night. It's possible he's been up there all morning. You count about 6 of them, and you think if you're able, there's a chance like if you just like drive at them and shoot your guns a bit, they might run off. But definitely if you wound a couple of them, there's a decent chance that they'll run off. They're not like so, unless they're really hungry, they're not gonna, the 6 of them are not gonna take on a car and 3 drifters just to try and eat this guy.
Are there any pups among them?
You like looking, you think that one or 2 of them might be like adolescent, but definitely not pups. This is more of a hunting.
Within I guess the first year and a half?
No, probably not.
All right, that's fair enough. Then I'm gonna try and shoot in the air around them and maybe hit one in like the belly where it wouldn't actually like hurt him.
Sure. Okay, go ahead and take
Or
a shot.
maim him rather. Sure. All right.
Yeah, and I suppose
any-
go ahead and take a -2 for a called shot here.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering.
And yeah, and Roland, you got smooth driver, right? So
I don't.
Oh,
Dang.
so another -1 because you're shooting out of a moving car.
Right. Sure. Okay. That's great. Thank you.
You don't have I mean, I guess I knew that. Weird.
I got street racing chops, not battle driver chops.
Well, that is 5 successes with a high of 11.
Okay.
You killed that guy.
Did I say 5? I meant 4. Sorry. Can only roll 4 dice.
How many net successes over an 8?
An 8. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but 2.
All right. How much damage is that?
Altogether, that is 10 damage.
Any armor piercing?
Sorry, with 2 piercing.
So yeah, Kinsey leans out of the car as Roland's like swerving back around, and then a couple of the hounds like break off to like take a look at you guys and try to like size you up, and you just take a shot and like clip one of them in like the meaty part of its like shoulder, and it's like kind of like scaly hide like breaks off, and it like lets out a yelp, and then two others like turn and see this, and three of the six axe handle hounds charge the car.
Oh, great. Perfect. So they must be pretty hungry then.
Roland, go ahead and roll a defense test for the car.
Sure. And it's not speed based, right?
Correct.
That's not very good. It's not terrible though. It's an 8.
Okay. You're up against an 11. So
Well, I have an 8.
So that doesn't lose some of mine. And yeah, the car takes maybe not much damage depending on its toughness. 4 damage with 3 armor piercing.
I think what you mean is big ol' zilch.
Cool. So that's attack 1. I'm going to do 2 more attacks for them. As all 3 axe handles attempt to ram their heads into the side of this car.
That was at a 17. This one is at a 16. No, that is a 16.
Okay, cool. That one misses. And then the final.
An 11.
I have a 9. Yeah, so these 3 axe handles rush at you. Roland, you like kind of like fishtail. You're like, I guess I don't want to run them over. They didn't seem to want to run them over. Also, like I just fixed up the paint job. I don't really want to like get it stuck in the undercarriage or anything like that. So you swerve through. One of them kind of bumps up, but doesn't manage to like hit the car with like its wedge-shaped head. Instead, it like skims up against and like kind of bounces off of the door, leaving like basically no mark except for like a dirt smudge on like the side of the car. And then the other ones like both leap forward trying to like slam their heads into the side of the car, but they seem to miss both times as you kind of like fishtail through them. And then at this point, the other 3 like break off. And Roland, you're like driving off and spinning around. And let's do a teamwork intimidation or wrangle.
I love that.
It can be
Either or.
either intimidation or wrangle. Between Kinsey and Roland.
Sure. Can I roll drive to intimidate?
No.
Okay.
Do we have to roll the same thing? It doesn't matter for me.
It doesn't. No. I'm letting you teamwork either of those skills together.
I tell you what, I'm not going to intimidate these animals with my knowledge and ability to work with animals. Hey, that's 2 hits on intimidate.
That's a +2 for you, Kinsey.
That's definitely not for Kinsey. Well, it's a +2 for me. Sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. It's my fault.
I don't know animals, but I do know chicken.
I've got a high of 12.
Okay. How many net successes over 6?
Oh, perfect. That's 2 net successes.
Cool. Yeah. So they kind of like start forming. They kind of pull their attention off of this guy on the rock, and they look to you as the car's like swinging around and like rolling, you mean mug, like the one that bounced off of your driver's side door. And Kinsey, like the light of the sun like glints off of like your scope as you're lining up like another shot, and like one of them is like kind of like barks at the other ones, and then they kind of scatter and start like running off like onto the horizon to try and get away from you.
Not that it matters, but narratively I am shooting with my pistol because my medium firearm is still busted out.
You've had so much time.
I was thinking about like popping and being like, I'm going to fix my gun too, but that seemed like a lot of information.
Yeah, so they go running off.
Good,
And
well, excellent.
you pull up to this rock. Umbra's like banging on trying to like get out of the wagon.
I'd go back and let him out.
As the car's like coming to a stop, Kinsey kind of hops and like stumbles just a little bit as he makes his way out of the moving vehicle. And as soon as you like unlatch the wagon, just the door flies open and Umbra goes chasing after the axe handles.
Come! Where are you going? Come on! Oh my god!
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna pop open the ladder and so he can like.
Yes, thank you very much. You see this guy is probably early 50s, maybe mid 50s. He seems like pretty like healthy built for his age. He's got gray in his like dreadlocks that are like pulled back. He's wearing kind of like a little like the cleanliness of his clothes implies that he's not an outdoorsman. But he is like well equipped at least to be outside. He's got like a canteen and like a little bit of like light armor, and he's makes his way down, looking really weak as he does. You see his lips are cracked and like super dry, and like his skin on his like forehead and his like cheeks are like just starting to like dry out enough to like crack and peel.
Some water here for you, my friend.
Thank you so much. And he grabs the water canteen, like takes a small sip out of it and like coughs a little bit. And he goes, Granger. Dr. Anton Granger. At your
Kinsey and
service.
Charlotte.
Kinsey.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank
It looks
you.
like we're at your service here.
I appreciate it. They snuck up on me, my motorcycle. He gestures, and you see there is a overturned motorcycle not too far from this rock. Nearby what looks like a completely like flattened like camp. My motorcycle ran out of gas, and I was trying to, tune it up and get something to go, and they came at me. I don't know where they've been up. I had to have been up there on that rock for at least 12 hours.
Sounds real bad. Well, we're headed to Tobias Station, and I have a recently vacated trailer. If you want to.
Yes. Oh, of course. That's fortuitous. I come from Tobias Station. He takes another sip of water and like corks the canteen and hands it to you, Kinsey. And he goes, oh, my samples! And he rushes over towards his motorcycle and his camp, and he's looking around, he's rummaging around, and then as he gets to his motorcycle to like open up the saddlebags, he pulls back and goes, the bastards peed on it! Oh, the stench! And
Yes, they do that. Once they consider something theirs.
Mr. McCharlotte, if I could borrow the canteen for a time longer.
Well, how close are we?
From Tobias, I would say a handful of hours at the most, maybe half a day's drive. I mean, that vehicle of yours looks fast.
I mean, if it's half a day, sure. I could just carry them for you, but go ahead and rinse them off.
He like splashes it on the saddlebag and then unlatches it and pulls out what looks like they're basically effectively like mason jars, but like slightly high-tech mason jars. They have some LEDs in them. And he holds it up and looks, and they seem to be intact, and they're full of what you can surmise is dirt. And he's like, oh, thank goodness. Otherwise, this would have been for nothing. Yes, Mr. He says to you, Roland.
Hollis. Roland Hollis.
Mr. Hollis, if I would absolutely appreciate the use of your trailer for a time to house my motorcycle for the journey back to Tobias Station. And whatever effects
sure.
I can salvage from this camp.
I do have to ask, anything that is covered in axe handle piss also goes in the trailer? I have a thing about stink in the car.
I can agree to your disposition there, sir. Hardly an imposing request. Yes, of course. And he begins like bundling up his camp like a little awkwardly. He does seem very fatigued as he does this, and he's very quickly being like, "I don't need that," and like leaving like things behind as he starts piling things up on his motorcycle.
Is there anything useful that he's leaving behind that he might want to come back and get?
From what you can tell, it looks like probably amounts to maybe a couple machinery cubes and a tech cube worth of stuff.
Look, I'll go ahead and pee on that then.
You're gonna pee on his camp?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so he's like putting stuff on his thing, and he like scratches his head, looks, and then he just turns and sees Kinsey just like sitting there urinating on a tent.
I figured you might want to come back and get this, so I thought I might, claim it like an axe-handle hound,
What? You can't. Why would you do that instead of grab it and put it in the trailer? Why is that your first thought?
I don't want the entire trailer to smell like pee, It's going to stress Umbra out.
And then Kinsey finishes.
Clean it before.
Not before the axe handles can. They like to play with this sort of stuff. Just toss it between each other.
Wait, Kinsey, where do you think these hounds are going? Do you think they're coming with us in the trailer?
Really, it's no bother. It's no bother at all. I was leaving it behind anyways. Could someone? And he says, like, kind of like trying to wheel his motorcycle over towards the trailer.
I'll help him out.
Thank you, Mr. McCharlotte.
Of course.
And as he you load it into the trailer and kind of lean it, he like sets in like a pant and then like looks and sees you standing there, Pax, and he goes, "Dr. Anton Granger." And he reaches out a hand.
Hi.
He shakes your hand.
No.
Oh no, you don't shake. He holds out his hand for a second longer and goes, "Right, of course." And he lowers.
I
his hand.
take out my canteen and just toss it to him, and
He
then I
fumbles
put on
with
my
it.
new belt, and I walk up the side of the trailer and sit next to my drone.
He fumbles with it and then picks it up and looks back. He didn't seem to hear you move, and he looks around for you for a second and then catches you as you're casually walking up onto the ceiling or onto the roof of this thing, and then you sit down. And he goes, "All right. Again, thank you so much. Yeah, Tobias Station. I'm sure you know the way if you're heading there already, but it's this way. We can make. I don't need the rest of that. Is your jackalope going to be okay out there in the wild, sir? Do we need to?
Yeah, don't worry about him. And I give a.
He looks into the horizon. There's already kind of heat waves. You've lost sight of Umbra for a second, and he goes, "Perhaps the wind caught," and then just parting through the heat waves, you see a very happy looking Umbra, tongue flapping out as he's and ears flapping behind as he is quickly approaching, and then slides and slams into the trailer a little bit. And he goes, "Oh goodness me, it's a fast one."
He's quite fast. Actually, as a matter of fact, he seems to want to be out and about, and I'd like to keep an eye on him. Why don't you hop in the cab, and I guess Pax is going to hang out on top of the trailer, so I'll ride alongside.
Of course. Thank you again. And he
Of course.
climbs into the car.
Yeah, real quick, seems like probably he's not, but he's not a a killer or like a serial killer. His thing is he pretends to be in trouble.
You just kind of want to get a feel for whether or not this guy is hiding anything from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. You're playing the player. You can roll manipulate to see if he's trying to manipulate you.
Would empathetic get me the same information without it being an opposed roll?
Empathetic wouldn't let you know if he is deceiving you as far as anything he said or anything, but it would at least let you know if he is like nervous for a weird reason, or if he's not as tired as he's letting on, or any of those kind of mannerisms.
The dead cold eyes of a man who's killed before and will
Yeah, yeah, like if he like gets like a thrill when he's alone with you in the cab, like.
Yeah, I mean, I'll roll empathetic then.
Okay, cool.
It's personality or manipulate for empathetic?
I believe it is just personality. I will double check.
Yeah, it's personality.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, that's 5 hits.
Yeah, okay. So you can you like look deep into this old man's soul. He is definitely as tired as he is letting on. You actually think he might be thinking he is being a little braver than he is, right? He's like he like maybe thinks that like he's, you know, like, oh, they're probably very impressed that I survived up there all by myself for this long, you know. You get the sense of this man is not in a being helpless is not his like standard position. Like he is not some fool who came out here in the Badlands and is just like completely ill-equipped. You do think he is still ill-equipped, but not like he's not gone out before and been successful. The way he speaks, the way he carries himself, you imagine that he is an educated man. I mean, he referred to himself as a doctor, but like, you know that that's not fake, right? Like, you know that like he actually probably has a real doctorate, unlike some people.
Well, you know, I held the position of someone with a real doctorate, and some would argue that that qualifies.
You also get the he is incredibly grateful to the three of you, and judging by the quality of his clothes and stuff, you wouldn't necessarily think he's like super wealthy, but he definitely has, being an educated man yourself, you would gather that he probably has like money at his disposal to some degree. In fact, that's echoed by the fact that as you get in the cab, he goes, "Are the three of you drifters then?" And there's like the tone immediately, you're like, ah, this is a job interview.
We've been around, done a few things.
Well, you surely, the way you handle this vehicle and the way your friend handles the gun, and frankly, the imposing demeanor of the woman on the trailer back there, I must assume you are a capable lot. I am, as I've said, in your debt, and I would potentially have work for the three of you down the line if you see fit to visit my lab in Tobias Station in the lower levels.
Well, I mean, we were sort of just passing through on our way to deliver a letter, but you know, depending on what it is, where it's headed, what you need done, you might be able to work something out.
It's menial labor at the worst. If anything, it just requires someone to not be found so at the mercy of a mere 6 axe handle hounds. Someone with a little bit more grit, who could hold their own, and just traveling in these parts. It's more time than anything else, and distance traveled. I'm a botanist, you see. Well, I've been collecting soil samples, and I hope to produce devices in my lab that will potentially infuse this land that is notorious for its inhospitality, and enrich it to a point where perhaps greenhouses or farmlands could eventually be held here. I mean, Manifest is growing in population every day, and more we find our people too crowded, and yet there's large swaths of the Badlands which could potentially become homes if the land were just given the right push. At least that's my hope.
Okay, so you just need some people to go some places and pick up some dirt for you.
Not necessarily. I have, I'll need you to, in a way, deposit some dirt into more dirt, as it were. Once I've had some time with it in my lab.
Okay, I mean, listen, we go all over. You need us to drop some dirt off and you want to pay us to do it, we could probably do that.
All right. Perfect. Excellent. We can discuss more details, of course, once I've had a rest. Did you mind if I nod off for a bit? I couldn't get a wink in edgewise with those axe handles clawing up at me.
Yeah, that's fine.
I appreciate it, young man. Thank you. And he leans up against the window and quickly just... And your empathetic lets you know he is definitely very asleep. He's not thinking.
Okay.
The other things you get from empathetic is you think he might be a little bit of an idealist. You think that maybe he's a little bit blinded by the concept of his science and might not actually get what he thinks he's going to get from any of this kind of stuff. You think he's just very enthusiastic and wants to test out his hypothesis and would probably go risk his life again to do so if he had to.
Tommy, he's a mark. You can say it.
Yeah, and then, I mean, with Kinsey riding alongside and Pax, you're just sitting on the back of the...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
With all of my weapons that I put on to save him.
And yeah, you drive the rest of the way to Tobias Station without anything else really happening. It gets a little bit later in the day, and the punched peaks begin closing in on the horizon. These peaks, famous for the folklore that surrounds them. Many of the mountain tops are have weird shapes to them, or strangely flat. There's a lot of weird rock formations within these mountain ranges. The most notable of which is visible from this far away. It is a rock formation known as the Southpaw. Which is a massive mountainous peak that is rather thin at its base and then becomes wider at the center and then eventually comes to a normal mountainous kind of conal top, pointed top. And the legends around these mountain ranges is that Badlands Pete, figure of a tall tale and folklore figure, trained in these mountains, and instead of using punching bags or trees or anything, he punched the mountains themselves. And Southpaw, the reason the story behind why Southpaw is the reason, or is that shape, is because it was Badlands Pete's punching bag, and he whittled away at the base of a mountain.
Nice.
Was Badlands Pete left-handed too?
So, I mean, you could roll lore probably to know a little bit more about Badlands Pete if you like.
I don't see why not. What is my roll? That's a good question.
I think famously he was quite good at punching with both hands.
That part is known without even a roll.
I've only got one hit anyway.
Okay, you don't think he favored it. You don't remember if he's left-handed or right-handed, but you do remember, and you can kind of extrapolate given the name of the mountain there. You remember the story being something along the lines of he wanted to be as deadly with both hands, so he that was the mountain he used to get the other hand up to snuff with his power hand.
But
As the legend
No.
goes, he took a lasso and tied his right hand behind his back.
And punched the mountain to a point where it almost toppled over. Yeah. And I guess with one hit, Kinsey, you probably believe the stories. And you don't know any other reason why the mountains might be these shapes.
Right.
Cool. So as you continue moving towards the Punched Peaks, they get closer, and a decent way away from the Punched Peaks still, you do see a mesa kind of rise out of the horizon. And this mesa is Tobias Station. Tobias Station is, as without anyone having to roll, you would know that it is a trade hub, one of the more prominent trade hubs in the Badlands. And as you get close to this mesa, you see that parts of Tobias Station protrude from the cliff sides of this mesa. The station itself is built into the body of this mesa. Many of these carved out pods seem to be hangars. As you can see, a handful of like aircrafts arriving and departing from these various ports on the side of the mesa. In addition to that, there are other parts of the station that are built out on the ground adjacent to the mesa. And there's actually a relatively large post office that's visible as one of these outer facilities. It's built more like a large warehouse, and it has an LRC tower built into the side of its frame. And it's not the only LRC tower you see. There's actually a couple that are protruding from both the mid-levels and the top side of the mesa, where there's buildings on the top surface of the mesa as well. Even as from afar and as you get closer, you can see the Tobias Station is humming with activity and traffic. I mean, just the journey, as soon as you can see it from a distance, you see dozens of vehicles arrive and leave this area, branching out all sorts of different ways. You actually pass by a few vehicles on your way in. There's like aircrafts that kind of like rotate and like give it a pass and then swing back in to actually land when the airways are clear for them. As you kind of roll up towards Tobias Station, you can easily identify the station workers by their kind of burgundy red dusters and yellow kind of hard hat helmets that they wear. And I think as you crest up close towards Tobias Station, kind of having to slow down a little bit to deal with the amount of foot traffic and vehicle traffic in the area. Even like not just like automated vehicles. You know, there's planes, there's cars, but there's also like hodags with massive like amounts of like cargo on their back that kind of like lumber into the like post office on the outside or even into the station itself. And as you kind of like soak in the scene and see it, and Anton Granger wakes up. I think we're gonna take just a little break. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes. So I'm reading 9:25. We'll be back at 9:35. So those of you watching, refresh your drinks. We'll be back. Hello. All right, we're back. Last we left off, the three of you were approaching the bustling trade hub that is Tobias Station. And as you start getting a little close to that, like kind of like large post office, like warehouse, Dr. Granger goes, "If it's not too much trouble, I can get out here. I will drop my motorcycle off for repairs and like I said, my lab is in the lower levels, and you can find me there, and we can discuss future business, perhaps."
Sure, seems great. Yeah, we'll just pull over here.
And he hops out and he goes, "Mr. McCharlotte, Miss," he says to you up there, Pax.
See ya.
Mayonnaise is her last name.
No, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Right, of course. Thank you again, all of you, for your assistance. And he like reaches out and Umbra like sniffs his hand. He goes, "Fine beast you have here."
Isn't he just?
And then he goes and wheels his motorcycle out, kind of like wobbling a little bit as he does. Gets it sturdy, and then is like, "Perhaps I'll see you later." And then like walks it into the post office.
Great. I'll feed Umbra and get back in the car.
I'll also get in the car at this point.
So, what's the problem with the old man, Doctor?
Whatever, he's a nerd.
That doesn't feel genuine.
Look, he's got like fancy words and he has no point being out in the Badlands, and he's probably rich and
Which fancy words?
stupid
Specifically.
samples or
See, I was gonna say samples was sort of like the most complex thing he said, and I don't think that's a fancy word.
and he had like nice clothes, and he's from like a big town, and has money.
This isn't a big town.
I mean, it's not Alanisted, but like for the Badlands, it's pretty big.
Sure, he's
And-
from a big Badlands town.
Sure. And
Are we going somewhere, or should I just go off on my own? Because I've got some things to do.
Umbra's like trotting and prancing in like a circle.
I mean, if you've got things to do, go for it. We should get gas, but otherwise...
Yeah! And we take off.
Yeah, where are you heading, Kinsey?
I'm going to take Umbra here for his very first primo treatment at whatever caretaker there is around.
Okay. So yeah, you circle around, you pass by the post office, and there is indeed what looks like possibly like a stable master. It's got like areas. You see him like he's hosing down Hodag, trying to get the mud out from under the fur there. And he seems to be in front of a big, large, like garage door that's built into the base of the mesa. There's a few workers, but like this guy seems to be the one who's in charge. He actually hands off the hose to somebody else, and then like checks like a little hollow clipboard and like slides up and like moves some things around, and then shouts some more stuff at a couple more people, and then you come riding in, and he goes, "Afternoon, sir.
No, hello there.
Stable in your beast there."
Yes. How much for the primo treatment?
We want his feed and wash it, and maybe polish up those antlers a little bit.
Yeah, and perhaps a rub down as well.
Sure, yeah. Let's see. Your name?
No. Ken Charlotte.
Mr. Charlotte. Let's see. Is this he like looks around like at like Umbra and like goes to like mess with his hindquarters and Umbra like kicks and like kind of like pulls and he goes,
Yeah, it's all right. Take it easy.
"Is this a trained animal, sir?"
Oh, he's well trained. In fact, he is
Really?
best of friends. What is that? I don't remember what it's called. But he's my best friend.
And he like checks a couple boxes and he goes, "Age?"
Well, that's a great question. I'm not sure. I could assume. What could I assume?
You probably guess that Umbra is around like 16 to 20, somewhere in that range.
16, 20, the golden years,
Right. And he like checks a couple more boxes and he goes, "Any affiliation to any known carnivals in or outside the Badlands?"
No, I sincerely doubt it.
All right. Do you have papers for this beast?
Oh, no, I actually just caught him not so long ago.
All right, wild animal then. All right, so that's going to be for the premium treatment. You're looking at 5 spurs.
Sure. Don't know if I can just say this, but I'd like to hand him 5 spurs that I took from the coffer earlier.
Sure. How many other spurs did you take from the coffer earlier? Was it
I think
exactly
at least 3 more.
5? Okay. So 8 spurs. Roland, is there any reason why Kinsey would not be able to achieve that?
Man, I want you to be able to pay for this thing that is like ultimately trivial, but I think Pax has been like handing Roland her money as like, here, keep track of this, right? And he's keeping all of the money and considers it like the group's money. But it's like not in a public place for everyone to grab. It's like in his bag with his stuff.
So I said 8 spurs, you say, and I like pat down my pockets and one moment, and I'll ride back to
All right.
where I hope
And
the
he just like
trust
walks off as you as you go right off. Roland and Pax, you probably haven't gotten very far before Kinsey like slides by the car.
Is everything okay?
I need to borrow some money.
Okay. How much?
Could I take 10 spurs?
Yeah, sure. Why are you being so weird about this?
You being weird about it.
I'm not. You are.
Then you are.
Nope.
I'll pay you back, okay? I'm sorry. Whatever.
You don't have to, but if you want to.
I'll ride off.
You get back, and as you approach, the guy with the clipboard shouts a couple things to someone, points at you, and a different person comes up and goes, "Howdy, sir. You're here for premium treatment?"
Sure am. What's your name, my friend?
Clyde.
Clyde. Well, this is a special creature. I know you have him marked down as wild. He's very tame, very well trained. If I tell him to be cool, he will be cool. Can you make sure that he gets taken care of?
Yes, sir. We don't skimp on nothing. You got 5 spurs?
I sure do. Here you are.
All right. He takes the money and then reaches up and goes, "All right. He'll be here ready for you to pick up. 5 spurs will get you through the rest of this week. If you need to stay any longer and house them with us for longer, there will be charges per day beyond that point."
Of course.
Here's the paperwork, and he basically on like a hip thing, like a receipt like prints out, and he like tears it off and like hands it to you, and then he goes, "All right, come on. What's his name?"
Yeah, Umbra.
"Come on, Umbra." And he says, and like kind of like gently like leading Umbra by one of his ears, and like Umbra looks back and like kicks a little dirt on you. And then follows Clyde into as you see they go up to that large massive hangar door, which you've actually seen open up a couple times, and some vehicles go up and down a very dark like ramp into the like some subterranean area where the vehicles are going. He goes to the left of that into like kind of a large like barn door that slides open, and then into what looks like some kind of internal warehouse-esque area where you can kind of see some movement, but you can't quite see much more. It looks like it's wet on the floor. And Umbra gives you one more look back, and like
Okay.
wiggles his nose a little bit as you give him like a thumbs up, and then like Clyde tugs on his ear and he like pulls back, and Clyde like gets lifted off his feet for like a second and like stops, and then Umbra wiggles his nose at you again, Kinsey, and then goes following Clyde.
Handful. Cheeky.
Roland and Pax, what are you getting up to?
I mean, I'm driving us to a gas station, or the manifest equivalent of a gas station.
Sure. So you actually end up pulling up to kind of nearby where Kinsey is, and they do have like areas where like there's like basically like an area set up with like signs that like say like car repairs and like some prices and stuff, and it also has fuel cubes, 10 spurs, 12 for premium.
Woof. It's pricey. Okay. Yeah, but hold on. I'm still sort of on this. Why do you hate the old man?
I like to imagine you stopped the car and someone's like, "How can I help you?" And you're like, "1 second."
I don't trust him.
Okay. I mean, I get that, I suppose. It's just you're not typically so just openly hostile to people. Like, it's fine if I'm just confused, is all.
You gave him your real name.
Yeah, I'm trying something out.
Yeah, but like we're like supposed to be dead.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess the thing is like, Roland's not even, like, my real name, if you really go back. And it's, it's the name I've used for a while, and I think it's sort of who I am, really. But I think the only person really coming after us is a luminescent ghost, and he already probably could find us given enough time. He's immortal, as far as I know.
Well, 1, Sierra is out there. 2, he's rich, and he could tell on us. All the rich people know each other.
That's not true.
They all know each other.
That's super
They
not
all
true.
go to schools, and then they all like room together and like drink or something, and then like go and listen to other like rich people talk to them about how they think the world works, and then they like subjugate all of the like not rich people, and they wield it with like their money with like, and then there's no way to get out of it once they've got you under their thumb. And that guy, he probably knows like a bunch of people, and like he could have us back it on the way to Alanistead where we die. So that guy can like shove it.
Okay, so there was like a section there near the end where I think maybe the heart of the matter sort of came out.
Whatever, either you get it or you don't. And if you're not afraid of dying, then like that's on you. And I'll like get out of the car and I'll like slam it, and then like maybe go steal some LRC tags.
I don't know if I am anymore. I mean, I hate birds. They'll kill me real fast. I just don't want the outdoors to do it, I think.
Can I help you, sir? Your
yeah, sorry.
gestures
It was
just like
a
a
very
couple
important
people,
conversation.
couple people like behind you, like waiting to come up and see crowds of like foot traffic moving around you. He's like, "You're kind of right in the middle of everything here."
No, I understand. It's fine. Yeah, I would like some fuel, please.
Sure, yeah. 10 spurs a cube, unless you're looking for premium, then it's 12 spurs.
You know, here's the thing. I did hear about there's a station across town that was selling their fuel for 8. And I would I thought it would be more convenient to come here, but like if I really have to, I guess I'll go over there and get, 2 cubes of premium fuel for 16 spurs at the other end of town. I'd heard about this establishment, and, I wanted to give it my patronage.
Yeah, go ahead and roll manipulate.
Oh man, do you have sales? Because I could get this on Amazon for $14.
You guys price match?
Yeah, I hate, Dan hates what I'm doing. But I haven't lied to someone for money in a long time. And, this is a lot of our money. Okay, this is my first impression for sure. I think the car counts as dressed to impress.
Yeah. You're just rolling into town in Tobias Station. It works.
I have 10.
Take a grit.
Oh, come on. I don't believe it.
Take a grit. Yeah, so I can count all 3 of my 12s. And all 3 of them now explode.
Sure.
Okay. You got, what was your highest? 10? So my explosion, oh wait, hold on, I got one more explosion. My explosions didn't do anything. But I still have 3 over you.
Yeah.
So he goes, really? Cross town? See, problem is, sir, you have quite an impressive and eye-catching vehicle.
Hey. It didn't work. Here's 10 spins.
All right, here's a fuel cube. No hard feelings. If you want, we got just over there. He gestures to the hangar. He goes, you can park your vehicle up there for having a vehicle like this, an additional spur for the rest of the week, and then 2 spurs every day after that.
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind. Hey, while I've got you, do you happen to know where this tag goes to?
He looks at
I
it and
pull
goes,
up the Tobias Station hangar tag we got off the plane.
Yeah, he goes, northern hangar, upper level. You can't see it from down here, but if you work your way up to the upper level, not like the top, don't go top side, and then head north, it's the air hangar there. What is this? Where'd you find this?
We actually, I found a wreck on my way here. Pulled it off.
Yeah, I do think I heard Kilburn had some issue with one of their planes last month. I suppose, might give you some kind of reward if you got any salvage.
I got some of it, for sure. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah. All right. If you could, though, you are right in the middle of things.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, you're able to pull off. Kinsey,
recognized game.
Kinsey, what do you get into after you drop off Umbra?
I'd like to find some sort of... Is there a unified smith that can take care of my armor and my gun?
So you don't see anything immediately out here.
Cool.
It seems like looking around these outside buildings on the ground level, outside of Tobias Station, it all looks quick. You see a lot of vehicles coming in, getting maintenance, and then driving off. Right?
Sure.
You actually see a whole nomad pack roll in, get supplies, refuel, and then keep going. Right? They don't even really and while they do a couple of them, check with the LRCs at the post office, and then they all move on.
Sure.
It seems like all the buildings here are kind of quick, get your stuff and go type stuff.
Makes sense.
But there's several entrances into the interior of Tobias Station, and you do know, just by being a person who knows some things about this world, Tobias Station is like a massive trade hub, so there's no doubt someone inside who could render those services.
Right, I'll head that way then.
Cool. So yeah, you walk in. And the heat of you guys have like moved a little further south in the Badlands, getting to Tobias Station, and it's not gone unnoticed that the temperature has risen just a little bit, even with that short amount of latitudinal change. But when you get inside Tobias Station, it's kind of worse. It's hot and muggy. There's not like great circulation. It's kind of like it's got enough circulation that the air's not like super stale or anything like that. But like the like lack of like just the like breeze coming off of the open Badlands makes it just a little more humid and unpleasant in here. And the sound is cacophonous. You walk in and you're in a basically like a massive trading bazaar. You can see actually like kind of like glints of sunlight off to the distance across from you, as if this like kind of channel that you're in reaches another side of the mesa and breaks out into the sunlight. And it's tall, high ceilings. Like think like if you've ever been to like a convention, right? It's like tall ceilings, stands and booths like just propped up, and then you also see kind of elevated on a higher track. Like there's several like stairs and balconies that lead to what look like actual sort of storefronts. Up above, but like this lower level is just like a teeming trading bazaar. You get just tons of smells, like the smells of tons of people and some good smells from like some of the food stands nearby. And then like, just like every like few steps, like you get like fish and then like, burning wood, and then like just like smelly people, and then just like the Badlands and animals and like oil. It's just like it's just crazy going through here, and you're looking for just anywhere that will fix up your gun and stuff.
Right.
You can definitely do that. I would like you to roll an observe test.
Sure.
At a -4.
Perfect. Oh, that's great.
While Kinsey is moving his way through the bazaar, Pax, what are you up to?
Mostly I think just like blending in, if that makes sense. I want to like, I don't know. This is like the most urban place we've been in a while. I'd like to belong here.
Okay. I mean, you can roll blend. Is there anything in particular you're trying to like gain from doing so?
I want to
like,
get.
no one's
I want to
really
get the
paying you a
lay
lot
of the
of money.
land.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
I said no one's really paying you a lot of mind.
Yeah,
Like you get like
wanna
some
get
people who are like, like they'll call at you as you walk by, like shouting what they have, but like it's just kind of like to you and the adjacent like 5 people in the crowd, and then they just like move on to something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to. I want to get the lay of the land, because this is like a new city, and I want to know the exits, especially if we're going to talk to that guy again. I want to figure out who's in charge, like, and I want to figure out if there's anything worth maybe taking.
Who's
Okay.
in charge?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll blend. No modifier. Kinsey, what'd you get on observe?
Well, one of my dice exploded twice, so I don't have 3.
What's your highest though?
8.
Hey, how many? Oh, so you said it exploded twice. So what? That's how many net successes over a 7?
2.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you do spot. There's a couple things you do spot. Like at one point, you get a sight through the crowd. You see what looks like maybe some kind of gunsmith tent or armorer tent or something. You see like kind of like the of like of a forge. You hear like metal and everything. You also glance up and you do see there is guns, hardware, and supplies up in the catwalks. There's a sign for that. Pax, what'd you get on blend?
I got 2 hits or 2 successes, and the highest I have is a 10.
Okay, how many over an 8?
1.
Okay.
Oh wait, I have 12 grit too.
Okay.
Oh
Cool.
wait, that's not true anymore. Nope, it's just 1. I apologize. I forgot I spent all that grit on fighting that dragon. Okay.
Okay, cool. So before we resolve all of that, Roland, what are you doing? You drive your car away from where you got the fuel?
Yeah. I suppose I will plan to not need to run out of this town, and I will park my car.
Okay, you're gonna like check it in with the station or just park it nearby?
In at the station.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so as advertised, it's 1 spur that'll get you through the next few days, and then it will be either 2 spurs per day, or you can renegotiate a different deal.
Cool.
And they're basically like, depending on your timetable, we could stretch it. You just make sure you check in after a few days.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I suppose I will head. Kinsey's in the wind. Pax is in the wind. I'm not gonna go talk to this old man she hates without her. That seems like a recipe for disaster. I'll go find this hangar and negotiate our modest reward.
Okay. So you start heading in, and you're able to since you're not going into the bazaar, right? You see the teeming crowds, and you look and you see oh, okay, I can follow this walkway up onto the staircase, get up there, and then walk into a metal dimly lit hallway that will lead me to presumably further chambers deeper inside the mesa. So you get in, you start walking. Kinsey, you got how many net successes with it? 2, right?
2, that's right.
Perfect. So you're pushing your way through the crowd. People are bumping into you. You're kind of finding walkways, and then you're walking for a bit, and then you have to kind of edge your way through as every time you get nearby a tent, basically people are standing around. And this teenage girl runs head first into your chest. And you kind of are able to kind of buffet yourself against the and she goes, "So sorry, sir," and then moves off. And as she does, you feel a tug at your coin purse. And you watch her as she's moving through, and sure enough, your coin purse is not on your belt anymore. She hasn't gotten very far from you, but you noticed her pickpocket you. Clean.
Yeah, I'm going to follow her for sure.
Okay, you're just doing so subtly, or
as I think I would like to have my photo-replicant poncho. Don't know if that would help me in the situation.
Not particularly in this situation, no.
No, I didn't get a chance to change. We happened upon a needy stranger, so that's fine. I don't have to do so sneakily. I'm just going to follow her, and if she runs, she runs.
Yeah. She does. Basically, you turn and see her moving, and you push someone out of the way and start following. She is casually walking for a few paces, and then glances over and sees you see her, and then just books it and starts using her shortened height to basically duck through the crowd pretty easily. And Pax, because you rolled well enough on your blend, she doesn't mark you as a threat. It seems like she's making her way towards you, and because Kinsey's not attempting to be stealthy, you do see him. He's pretty tall. You see him turn and start moving his way through the crowd, shoving people out of the way and trying to move quickly. And you see this teenage girl running from him, and she's kind of running in your general direction. And Roland, I think you get 4 paces up on the stairs, and then you just glance down, and you too see like Kinsey, maybe chasing after a teenage girl. Hard to say for sure. He's definitely
I'm
moving.
from a factory town. I recognize a man who's been mugged.
But yeah, Kinsey, you're like shoving people out of the way. Yeah, Kinsey, let's roll athletics.
Oh, great. Athletics. That's always a problem with me. Could I have been swimming? Are there any lakes?
She hasn't jumped into any bodies of water yet, though she is heading for what seems like the fish market. Lindsay, you're up against an 11. She runs.
It's okay, I got no hits, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're losing her, Kinsey. She seems like this seems like a prepared route that she's on, and she is like very good at this, and like she like only basically by the virtue of your height and like your sheer like frustration with the fact that like you had to ask for this money and it just got taken from you. Are you able to like spot her every once in a while, just like kind of pop up in the crowd? She sees you, see her, and then she darts off again. And yeah, Pax, you see like she is making her way generally towards you. You're kind of in the fish market that she is heading towards.
Great. I'd like to like kind of like roll her to the side behind a tent, you know, like she's ducking around me, and make her think that like I'm a good person to hide behind because we're similar like heights or whatever, and then like roll her behind and then like a barrel or something and have Kinsey like stalk past and like is what I would like to do.
So you want to
and
hide her.
I can make that happen like regardless of whether like that's what she wants to have. I'm gonna attempt to have that happen, and then like we'll see what happens.
Okay,
after that.
so you have two methods that you could use. You could roll manipulate to try to convince her that you are safety. Or you could roll unarmed to effectively grapple her and force her into
that's
position.
the one.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and roll unarmed. And then you can also roll stealth if, Kinsey, you want to roll another observe test to try and spot Pax.
I'm looking for this person. I sincerely that I'll be able to find them.
I think I'm just still walking up the stairs.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, right, I said it's like you go up some stairs and you walk along a catwalk, and you go up like a spiral staircase and walk through another catwalk. So you're just watching all of this unfold as you slowly ascend, Roland.
Seems fine.
You like see Kinsey's chasing her. You're like, should I help? And you see Pax kind of in the distance. You're like, whatever. And then you keep walking, and you see Pax like grab this girl, and you're like, interesting. And then.
And then Kinsey stalks past. Oh, the twists and turns.
I'm still at a -4 modifier.
No, you're not. I don't know if Pax has anything that makes you have a negative to see her.
Wait. So did I successfully grapple this?
Well, we'll get to Kinsey's roll in a second. Roll the grapple.
Okay, I did.
Okay. What'd you get?
I have an 11 high.
How many over a 9?
3.
Yeah. You are very strong. And even though you're about the same height as this girl, you immediately just like, she tries to spin around you. You grab like her like belt and spin, like just like lift her off her feet, like not like slamming her into a tent, but kind of slamming her like into the side of a tent and like shove her down.
Very specifically not harming her.
Yeah, and like you like shove her down and hold onto her ankle, onto her like shoulder, and like just the strength and speed with which you moved her has made her at least stop for a second, and be like, well, I guess I'm gonna see where this goes. Kinsey,
Yep.
You rolled what on your observe? And also, I guess, Pax, do you have anything that would make Kinsey have negatives to see you?
To see me?
Yeah, I know you have things that give you pluses, but I don't think you have anything that gives them negatives to see. Because you don't have a photo replicant poncho, and I don't think you have any talents that do that. You have talents for being heard but not seen.
Yeah,
So, Pax, go ahead and roll sneak. Kinsey, roll observe.
I do have follow my lead if she's also rolling sneak.
She's probably got the same sneak value.
Kinsey, what'd you
I
get?
don't want to spend any grit, so I'm going to go with 0 successes.
Wonderful. Yeah, then I have 4 successes.
Yeah, so Kinsey, you go stalking past. You're trying to find her, and then there's like a moment where you think
Every time I go to Tobias Station, I swear.
you think you see her for a second. You move that way, and then you can't find her for a second. You don't realize you're standing next to like a fish tank. And as you're like looking around, being like, I think I may have lost her. You turn and like, boom, right against the glass, a fur-bearing trout like, like, and tries to like gnaw at your face.
I'm gonna make you into a hat.
Plot thickens.
Yeah, Pax, like Kinsey moves by and then she struggles again and you hold her in place. She goes, hey, what gives?
You were running away from him.
Yeah, he was looking at me weird. I didn't like it, and so then I started, I was moving back. Thanks, I really appreciate it. My name's Harry, and you can let go now. It looks like he's gone.
How much did you take?
Take? She like looks at your hand still on her shoulder, and she goes, I don't know. I mean, it felt like it was a pretty good weight. Maybe like 6 spurs.
I bet you it's 5.
Okay. What, do you want to cut or what, lady? You look like, and she like kind of looks you up and down, like she goes, you look like you're pretty well healed. I don't think you need the money. Like, can you let me go? Like, what's going on here? Is he a friend of yours?
No. Look, don't pick the loud ones. They'll just point and yell. You take the people who aren't paying attention.
I didn't think he was paying attention.
But he looks loud, huh?
Yeah, I guess you could say
God damn it, where are you?
so. Gestures. Sure, yeah. But like, you can't tell when someone's gonna be loud when they're not.
Is this money for just you? Or is it for... Are you supporting others? Or are you running for somebody?
Why not all 3?
Because it matters what I do next.
Which one do you like better?
Which one is true?
She kind of shrugs and goes, kind of all 3.
All right. Do you like the person you're running for?
Lady, I ain't a charity case, all right? I can handle myself, all right? I have my ways to make my money. Like I don't need. I appreciate the assist, all right? And what if you want to cut? Like, I mean, I could give you something, but I haven't eaten in a few
please,
days.
you're not half as tough as me, and you're sloppy. So like, let's just have a conversation, and then like, if you really, really don't want a change in your experience that's better, I'll let you go.
I'll let you roll either manipulate or intimidate. Because you mentioned how strong you were.
So, is it better to roll at a lower target with more dice, or is it better to roll at a higher target with fewer dice?
Probably the higher target.
Yeah.
Because you just want to be able to count at least 1 hit over them.
Okay. Well, I'm not very good at any of these things. Ooh. Man, she's gonna just give me some sass, and then I'm just gonna steal Kinsey's spurs off of her. Okay. Well, I'm gonna spend some grit
Okay.
to count this 7.
Okay. That means she only gets one net hit over you. I had a 5
get-
and an 8.
Well, 7 is the highest I can go.
So she like,
Oh, but I didn't need to spend grit.
okay, then don't.
Okay.
Yeah, she goes, hey, I don't know you, right? For all I know, you and him are working together, and you're just getting information before you knock me over the head. Look, if you're gonna mug me, all right?
Okay. Well, bye.
That's it.
Yeah. Good luck. I mean, you're gonna get caught, so hopefully it's not that big a sum when you do.
Hey, you know, it's quantity over quality here at Tobias Station. The gods around here, they don't recognize faces.
Yeah, until you hit the wrong mark.
Where are you from?
Where are you from?
Here, born and raised.
And they don't recognize you?
There's too many people in this hill. No one cares about anyone.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah. And I would like to flashback having taken Kinsey's spurs.
So that she has an empty coin purse.
Yeah.
Okay. Kinsey, roll observe at a -2.
Oh no, sorry. No. From her, not from Kinsey.
Oh, whoa. Okay. I roll
Earlier in the conversation.
I roll
yeah.
observe at a -2.
Yeah.
You spend 4 grit. Unless you just want to do it now.
Sure.
Without
I
spending
guess.
the grit.
I've had the spurs the whole time.
Oh no, -2.
Oh man.
I have a 5.
Okay. I have 3 13s
Okay.
amongst and then over a 5 I have 2 additional hits.
So you have 5 successes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a
I
sixth
mean,
bird.
are you taking more than just Kinsey's spurs? Are you leaving her with Kinsey's coin purse full of rocks? Like, what do you want to do here?
Oh, yeah, no. I would like to take her haul. So she doesn't have it.
Beyond just Kinsey?
Yeah.
You want to like completely like magician taking off like the watch and the belt and all that, like
Yeah.
just strip her of all of her stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So you have a little bit
and-
more of an exchange back and forth with her too.
Yeah.
Where like Kinsey shouts, you flinch, so she flinches too, and in that moment, like you get Kinsey's spurs out like from her belt, and then she goes, "Hey, you know, like I said, I appreciate the assist, but like, you ain't from around here. You're not gonna be here for long. Better not to get involved." And like during that like conversation, as she's like looking around saying it, she goes, "Honestly, you know, I hope we don't see each other again." And then steps back towards like a little bit of like paneling, like metal paneling, and she goes, "Enjoy your stay at Tobias Station."
Before you go, did you want this stuff?
And she like looks down at all of like at like her empty belt and everything, and you're like holding up, you know, a couple packs and Kinsey's spurs, and like her hand is on like that panel. You see it kind of move behind her, and then she like lets go of it, and she goes, What the hell is your angle, lady? What do you want from me? I said if you like what? Come on, you're gonna rob like a little girl? Really? I need that
No.
stuff to eat and live. What do you need?
Oh my god. I thought I was a child. You are an amateur. You're gonna get caught. Good luck. Come and find me when you realize just how outclassed you are and you want to learn better.
And she like reaches up to grab the stuff. She goes, "My bracelet too? My best friend gave me this. How did you do that? When did you do that?"
I don't know. Sometime between the moment that I turned you around this corner and now. Figure it out. Come tell me. And then if Kenzie's like yelling, I'd like to like fucking vanish.
Come on, what the hell? I'm gonna find you.
I think I'm just like up on the catwalk before I would leave view of this whole thing, just like eating jerky. Wild.
Yeah, she like looks and flinches and looks towards like Kenzie's voice, looks back. Pax isn't there. And Roland, you see as she like looks at all of her stuff and like kind of like pulls her pack off and like puts it all in there and like double checks to make sure it's all still there, cinches it closed, and then pushes on that panel and it like kind of cracks open just enough that she can slide in behind the wall.
Good to know.
I'm gonna go find Kenzie.
You do. It's easy.
Yeah.
He's yelling. You also notice there's like quite a few people in red dusters that are like keeping an eye on Kinsey at this moment, and some people are like kind of looking around, and some people are even shouting back at Kinsey, being like, "Hey, buy something or leave! You scan away the customers."
I'm just going to my. How can I buy something when I don't have any money? So not now. I'm looking for the person who took all of my spurs.
Oh, let me help you. Let's figure it out.
Thank you. I don't know why this always happens to me in Tobias Station. Somebody runs into me and I'm like, oh, it just must be one of the city folks who just have no sense of personal boundaries. But what? It always turns out they're stealing my stuff.
That sucks. I don't have any spurs on me, but why don't we trade this old busted gun and get some spurs, and then Roland will never have to know.
Look. All right.
Yeah.
Is that gun worth 5 spurs? Tell me.
What kind of gun is it?
It's a light firearm, poor quality.
Yeah, at a glance, you think it's pretty likely you could get 5 spurs for that thing.
All right.
Kinsey, because you know guns.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I saw a sign for guns and armor and things up there. Do you want to come with me, or do you have other things
for
to
sure.
do?
Let's go.
Thank you, Pax. I appreciate it. These spaces always make me so nervous. I hate having this many people close to me. It's not.
It's fine. I will. You know what? I will counter pickpocket anybody who pickpockets you.
I appreciate that. I wish I'd have thought of that at the time.
Well, I mean, so.
But fair enough.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. So, are you going to the person on the ground in like the trading bazaar, or are you going up onto the into the kind of general store you saw above?
It was the general store that had the sign for, I think it was guns, armor, and weapons.
Yeah, it said guns, hardware, and supplies.
Guns, hardware, and supplies. Sure, that's close enough.
Okay.
It's all cubes.
Yeah. So you make your way up out of the catwalk. Kinsey, you're able to breathe a little bit more clearly as you get away from the like oppressive crowds of the bazaar. You make your way over there. Roland, you've made your way into a hallway. You are making your way through Tobias Station. It's rather large. Like I said, it's built into this mesa, but you're constantly making your way north. You find other kind of chambers similar to this one, but a little more tame. Not so much like wild like packs of like tents, more like just a couple like stands and a couple storefronts on like slightly wider spaces. And what you can actually tell, like in this area you just went into, there's a lot of like hotels and like housing and stuff. Some of them sport like great views, like like premium suite with balcony, like that kind of stuff. Like LRC runner, no extra charge, like that kind of stuff.
We get HBO LRC updates.
And you're able to make your way through kind of that area, and then towards what you start to see are like these hangars. Like not so much because you see into the hangars, but because you see like the gates that lead into them, and they have like markings on them that kind of like count their way up. And you start to notice like that tag you have, like the last like the last two like numbers and letter combo are like it's like the hangar that it is. So like you're like,
Okay.
oh cool, I know where I'm going now, and so you're able to kind of follow this path.
Great. I don't imagine it'll matter either way, but I think I am wearing the Roadkin jacket from Red Wheel's crew. It feels appropriate for this area.
Sure, yeah.
Also, it's just a good jacket. Well cut, fits. It's
It
hard
is.
to find, really.
Kinsey and Pax, you enter the general store. The little bell, ding, 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 as you walk through, and you hear, "I will wait here in just one moment." And, like,
Sure, of course, take it down.
a little old lady kind of like shuffles around and like messes with some stuff and looks up and goes, "Hi, how can I help you?"
Well, hello. I was looking to either get my weapon repaired or to trade it in for a better one. Whatever gets me the better deal.
"Well, let me see your weapon. Go ahead." And she like clears a spot on the counter and like taps it.
I'll lay down my medium weapon, and then Pax, could I also see the
Ooh,
Pistol.
get some miles on this one.
one or two? Yes.
All right. Well, I can tell you right now, it's going to cost you much less to fix this than it will for me to make you a new one.
All right, that's fair enough. Well, sure. Could I? Would this other weapon cover the charges if I were to trade this in?
Oh, let me take a look at that one. This one, hell, boy, who taught you how to take care of your weapons?
All right, that one's not even mine. All right, and the
Well,
other one
I
I
couldn't tell
dropped
the
on a
difference. They both
wild
look like they've been through hell and back. When's the last time you oiled this thing? I'm surprised you ain't blown a finger off. You blown a finger off? She like checks your hands. All right. Well, maybe watch and learn a thing or two about proper gun maintenance.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
All right.
This is my favorite general store owner you've ever done, Tommy.
Now, I'm sorry, miss. Did you need anything?
No, I'm just with him.
Well, hell, she says, like, kind of sizing you up, and she goes, "Well, now I get it. You probably ain't shot this thing in 2 weeks walking with someone as heavily armed and as capable as that. Look at the way she takes care of her stuff.
Yeah.
Her stuff is good. She don't need nothing from here."
She's tried to tell me.
I mean, hey, maybe, and she starts like taking apart the pistol and hand it out, and she's like, I mean, maybe, maybe it ain't my place to tell you not to not to treat your stuff like garbage. You treat your stuff like garbage, you're gonna come back here every week and give me 5 spurs at the end of every day when you
I
need it
don't want to do
repaired.
that.
But I ain't always gonna be around now, am I? And you ain't always
don't
gonna be
know.
in Tobias Station. I can tell by the look of you drifters. So you're gonna go out there in the wild. You're gonna blow off 3 fingers, and then this poor lady's gonna have to drag your dead corpse over here. And then, sure, that's business for the Undertaker. But I don't really like him too much. And honestly, I guess life is precious, so I don't want you to die. So maybe, just maybe, you wipe this thing here down and replace this little spring with this little spring when you get the chance.
Yes, I know how to do that.
Do you? Could have fooled
Yes.
me. Here's your gun. She gives you back an excellent quality medium firearm.
You've taught me a thing or two, or 3 or 5.
Now y'all don't mind if I keep some of these spare parts, right?
No, yes, just take them, please.
All right. She puts like some spare parts in a drawer and slams it shut. Anything else I can help you with, dear?
Can I give you a hug?
Well, sure. She shuffles around the counter and she goes, I'm a little bit dusty.
That's okay. Me too.
Yeah, well. She gives you a little bit of a hug. She goes, what's your name, young miss?
Pax.
Pax, pleasure to meet you. I'm Shirley Charlotte, and I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
No, Charlotte is that of the Southern Badlands Charlottes?
I don't know.
Well, my name is Ken Charlotte, so I
my
figured I would ask.
God, is this your grandma?
I only know about 3 of my blood relatives, but no one done mentioned a Ken. And judging by the way you handle yourself, I don't think we have much in common, sir.
Yes, you're probably right. Just thought I might try.
Big though. He's big
I
like
was
a tree,
wondering.
this one.
I was wondering if you might be interested in purchasing this armor set.
Sure, let me go ahead and take a look at it here. What are you
It's
giving me?
a medium. It's a standard quality medium armor that has never been worn.
Oh. Well, this is nice. This ain't yours though. Don't look like it has the right fit. Does it have the right fit? It's a bit small.
Oh well, I mean it could fit, but I don't need it.
All right.
I don't get hit anyway.
Sure. Well, let's see. It doesn't have any mods or anything on it, right?
It's literally just standard medium armor.
Straight out the window at Gap.
Well, it's pretty nice here. It's pretty good material. Got plenty of things I could do with this. I probably want to spruce it up a little bit to sell it. I suppose would 6 spurs sound fair to you, young miss?
Sure.
All right then.
I'm not telling her this. I've never bought armor, so I have no idea how much it costs.
Does it sound fair to me?
It's just like it's about fair, especially judging by the fact that she said she felt like she was gonna need to add things to it to make it actually sell. 8 spurs would be probably the most fair price, just objectively speaking.
I also don't need to run a deal for her because she said
She's
what
already done.
And I'm not going to speak up at this point. So.
Yeah.
But although I do hesitate to ask.
Oh, come on, speak up. I can't hear too well.
Do you repair armor as well?
Absolutely. What do you think I do? Yes, of course.
I figured. I wasn't sure.
Pax,
Pax, is there any chance
to Pax.
Could you lend me a couple of spurs so that I can pay? I got robbed, as you know, and you've already given me the gun, which I know and appreciate, but I promise to pay you back.
Hey, Kinsey. It's fine.
Thank you. And I hand over my armor to be repaired as well.
Oh.
Look, it's not that bad.
I mean, honestly, I guess it did its job, right? So, ain't the most busted up armor I've seen. And she repairs 7 armor points.
No, I'll take that. That's perfect. That's all I needed.
So it's full after that?
It is.
Yeah, so she puts it back together a little bit, using some of the parts actually from the gun that you gave her. And she goes, all right, there we go. And she sees Pax standing there, like, reaching for spurs, and she goes, oh, let's just go ahead and, I mean, you brought the supplies in yourself anyway, so 1 spur will be fine.
Perfect. And I will give her a spur.
Appreciate it. You need anything else?
Just to learn your magic, because if I could have just done that on my own without being berated, I certainly would have.
Look at you. You're what, like 30, 50? You gotta have learned something at this point. I mean, look, you don't look extremely tough. You gotta have learned a thing or two at some point about something. I mean, hell, I could do this when I was barely crawling. Surely someone walking around with the swagger and the attitude, you gotta have a little bit of game to back up your play. I mean, surely she wouldn't stick around all this time. I mean, he's gotta have something to offer, right?
Do I have something to offer, Pax?
He is extremely good in the outdoors. I'm useless out there, and he's got this amazing jackalope.
Do you have a jackalope? Oh, I remember my first jackalope ride. It was a long time ago, I suppose. I probably was about your age, she says to Pax. She goes, there's a bandito that came through here every summer, and, well, he always let me go for a ride on his jackalope. He was a swell fella. But you don't need to hear any more of my silly tales. All I'm saying, young sir, is that if you need to learn something, you just do what this lady does. She looks like she can handle herself, all right? You stay close to her, maybe just get in the way between her and danger sometimes. Take a couple bullets for her. Let her take the rest of do the rest of the work, right?
Absolutely. I think that's more than fair.
You got the armor that will keep you sturdy. I mean, hell, sure, that gun's going to shoot good for some time, but it ain't going to shoot good forever if you don't take care of it, so...
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, anything else y'all need?
No, thank you, Shirley. It's been a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Miss Charlotte. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Mr. Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
She chuckles to herself and goes, Drifters always coming in trying to tell me their names, and obviously a fake name. I mean, whatever. I don't know why they feel like they need to. Who am I going to tell? No one comes in here. Who visits me? No one comes and visits me. I mean, whatever, Only entertainment I get is when some yahoo comes in with a busted up gun, but, that yahoo don't even give me a courtesy of his own name. Whatever.
I don't think she needs us here for this.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you, Pax. Again, I do appreciate it. And thank you, Miss Charlotte.
As you walk through, the bell ding 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 rings again. I'll be with you in just goodbye.
I love her.
I'm certainly capable, yes.
Can she be my grandma?
Also, I think everyone can have a credit for excellent roleplay at this point. Everyone's done a good job so far this session.
Great. And I will give my 5 spurs to Kinsey.
Is this no? You already paid for my gun. I don't need this as well.
Oh, I don't like carrying money. It's kind of weird and useless.
Well, if you need to use any of it at any point, I've got it right here. Well, no, that's where she stole it from. I've got it.
And I'll take the little pouch and I'll stick it in his breast pocket and I'll
I'm learning your city ways.
and I'll button up the jacket.
That's great. Roland, you make it to the northern hangar, and you actually see there's a few different what look like company names next to this hangar's number, and one of them you do see is in fact Kilburn Private Courier Service.
Okay, yeah, I'll head over.
So you walk in, and it's straight up just an air hangar. It's kind of got a curved top to it. Not incredibly large. It's not housing a ton of vehicles, but at least like 5-ish at the moment. Different air vehicles, some gyrocopters, some planes, a helicopter, a few power gliders, and you walk in and you see like basically that same symbol, like that business, the company symbol, the KPCS like symbol, over to the side, like kind of on like a little bit of a banner. And as you're walking in, someone looks up and goes, "Boss, we look like we may have someone." "Howdy, sir. How can I help you? You looking transit, personnel, cargo?"
Actually, no. I just got in. I came from Sildina. Along the way, I happened to pass by. Looked like one of yours that had crashed in the desert.
All right. Hi, Mr. Kilburn. I think you may want to talk to this gentleman here. Oh, what's your name, sir?
That's Roland.
Mr. Roland here, to have a word with you, Mr. Kilburn. Looks like he may have found that train Jackie sent off west. And Kilburn's like, "Hell, I wondered when someone was going to come back through here. Go ahead, take lunch." "Howdy, I'm Danny Kilburn."
Roland Hollis. Yeah, I was on my way here from Sildina. Found a plane crashed in the desert. It was surprisingly intact. No sign of a pilot. I'm pretty handy. I couldn't really figure out what actually put it down.
He chuckles at that. So Danny Kilburn is a stocky, strong-armed man. He's wearing like a tank top with like a leather, like kind of a tool vest, basically. His arms and like forearms and the back of his hands are so hairy. And he's got like big bushy mutton chops and like already stubble like forming around his mouth and chin. And he's going a little bit bald at the back, but the hair that he does have is pulled back into like a ponytail. While he is super broad and very strong, he is about Pax's height. He like maybe even a couple inches shorter than Pax. He's just this.
Man, I bet you he could throw me up in the air real high.
Big, burly, small man. And his hands though, like dinner plates. They're huge and muscular. And he's like wiping them clean. And he goes, "Yeah, you probably wouldn't have found anything wrong with that except for some cosmetic stuff. We was doing maintenance on that one, and one of my new mechanics just flipped on the engine before we was done. It just kind of coasted on out."
Oh, that makes sense. There was a snallygaster out there, and I thought maybe it just sort of grabbed him right out of the cockpit, but your thing makes more sense.
Ooh, snallygaster. Well, no. Luckily, none of mine harmed in that one, just Jackie's pride, and, obviously I'm down a plane now, but hey, you found it. Did you happen to get any salvage? I'd be happy to reimburse you for some of it, a bit of a reward, as it were.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty handy myself. I, took apart what we could carry.
All right, yeah. Let's see. It only had some light cargo on it. Most of it would be materials. If you salvaged the plane itself, I'll give you a spur per cube. And then I suppose I'd have to see if you salvaged anything else beyond that.
Give him the thing you gave me.
Sure. No, the current dilemma I'm having is I don't want one spur for the 10 tech cubes I'd be willing to part with. I'd rather have the tech cubes. To be perfectly honest, though, I actually have quite a few uses for sort of the plane bits I managed to pull off. But you know what? I did find a rather nice stealth drone in the cargo there that I don't really have much use for, and I'd be happy to give it back for a fair price.
Yeah, hey, assuming it's, I ain't gonna hold it against you. You want to keep the supplies, legitimate salvage. I wrote the thing off when it flew out. I didn't think we were gonna ever find it. We don't tend to scour the ground very much, right? We kind of just fly over that territory. It's Snallygases
Shit,
and
no,
whatnot.
you'd miss it from the air for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you got the stealth drone and it's in good condition, I'll give you 15 spurs for it. As a reward. I ain't buying back my own thing, you understand?
Sure. How much of that, like, what percentage of that thing's value is 15 spurs?
Well, value of retail or value of materials to make one?
I mean, at retail, right? Because like, we're either gonna keep it, sell it to someone else, or give it to this guy. So like,
it's roughly 20% of the value it would cost to buy a new one. A better value if you take into consideration the amount of materials that go into making a stealth drone.
Sure.
Stealth drones mostly are expensive to buy because they're difficult to make.
Sure. I happen to know, sort of the amount of materials that goes into making one of these things. And I understand you don't want to buy back your own property, but it seems like 25 spurs would be a reasonable reward for getting back one of these. I mean, you didn't even have to send anyone out to do it.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll manipulate.
Am I dressed to impress?
Yeah. I mean, you have an Omni tool.
Great.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
Begin play, Tommy.
my highest currently is 11.
Okay, I have 3 net hits over an 11.
Cool. I also misfired.
So he's my friend now.
So he has a heart attack right there, but before he dies, he says, "You can have my company." No.
Listen, what I have learned is that when it comes to exchanging drones for money, if you misfire, someone becomes friends with you.
He goes, "You got a keen eye for such a thing. You looking for work?"
I'm not.
All right. Well, I mean, I got mechanics over here who don't know their way around an Omni tool. They got to use basic tools. I mean, I see you there. You look like a bit of a tinkerer to a degree, and I mean, you're familiar with stealth drones. How's about I commission some supplies from you? Provide the materials, pay you for your time. And you hang out here and fabricate some stuff for me. It's been a while since I've had a tinkerer come through, and I mean, I could do it myself, but I'm a busy man, and I don't have time.
You're running a whole organization here. You don't have time to just sit down at a bench and make something. I get it.
Right. So, what do you think? I commission you to do some work. You get a small amount there. Oh, also, 25 spurs. I can't quite go. I could do 20.
20 seems fair. Let me I came through with a couple people. I'm not sure how quick we're looking to turn around getting out of town. Let me talk it over with them. I'm interested in the offer, but I can't quite commit.
If you're looking to make a trip out of town, let me tell you, Kilburn Private Courier Service, it's gonna get you anywhere you need to go fast as can be. These nomad packs, they charge you an arm and a leg for direct service, and then if you don't pay that extra premium for direct service, you're traveling around with a nomad pack for 2 months before they swing by your destination. Not with Kilburn. Kilburn will get you right to where you need to go. Nice, fair prices. Well, where's about you heading after Tobias?
I think we're stopping in Las Brasas.
All right, Las Brasas. I can get you there for 7 spurs, 3 spurs back for the return trip if you want.
Let me talk it over. Well, we're always trying to figure out transportation from here to there. You know how it is out there in the Badlands.
Yeah, I mean, drifting is not easy work, and it definitely takes some time. Ain't no shame in taking resting your feet for a bit and taking the easy route by way of my services.
Well, I will keep that in mind, Mr. Kilburn, and I will get back to you.
All right, Mr. Roland, and do please think about my offer. Man, with your skills, I mean, I have a laundry list of devices that I got commissions left and right. I just can't keep up with them. I'd love to have someone I could just, pay to churn out some work while you're in town.
Sure. Oh, it's my first name is Roland.
I thought that was weird. I didn't want to say nothing, but he called you Mr. Roland, and I figured I'd just roll with it. Everyone has their own history. I ain't gonna judge.
Sure. Well, I'll be in touch. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, you can find me here, and if you can't find me here, they know where I went.
Great. And I will make my way back to the car, I guess.
The drone? Do you have the drone?
I don't have it on me. I'll have to go get it.
All right. He gives you like a thumbs up and goes, all right, let's see if we can get this engine to go on without exploding. Let's go, boys. Cool. And you make your way back, Roland, and you end up on that catwalk as Kinsey and Pax are walking out of the general store.
It's on the same level as the catwalk, right?
Yeah.
Great. Oh, hey. So I talked to the courier service from the plane we found. Turns out they were doing maintenance on it, and someone accidentally turned it on, and it just took off.
Oh.
I did negotiate if you want to get rid of the stealth drone packs, they would buy it back from us for 20 spurs.
I mean, it's like really, I guess, sure, fine, I guess.
I can see what a great sacrifice this is for you. I take it from you with the utmost respect for for your work and what you've given up here today.
I was gonna crash it anyway.
Same.
Yeah.
Also, weird thing, they would like to hire me to just make things.
Okay. Why is that weird?
No one's ever just asked if they could give me money to do a thing for them. Usually I convince them to give me money for a thing they don't need.
Well, welcome to the Badlands, my friend. You're learning to survive.
Also,
Sure,
Kinsey's gun looks great.
Oh, hey, you fixed your gun. Good on you.
Well, I got quite a tongue lashing for it, but I suppose I deserved it.
Yes.
If you want to take a job, you can take it.
I mean, I can't really see myself long term just sitting in a hangar building things for someone else, but like, the guy's dead. The letter we're trying to deliver, doesn't feel like there's a ton of urgency. We could hang out here for a few days while I build some stuff and make some money and be on our way.
Sure.
Maybe I can sell some of that Munson spice, make a few more spurs.
Hey, that's a great idea. I have to destabilize the underworld here, so.
Okay. I guess let me know if you need a hand or like some help.
That's quite an undertaking, isn't it?
Just cause.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I think there's a person who's running it.
You think he really is?
And I don't like that. Because usually they're like, tithes are pretty hefty, and then you starve, and then there's not really you don't get to make your own choices. You have to steal even if you don't want to, and you know, like stealing's super fun, I've heard. But they
You know
I
that we.
wouldn't know.
but you know, like you should do it because you like it, not because someone's forcing you to take things that maybe you don't want to take or like whatever. And so like obviously I have to learn more and like, but I could, you know, it'll so
But are you providing like a structure for the people who are serving this underlord or underworld? I mean, is there going to be a place for these presumable street urchins or whatever to go to?
are you saying that the poor should be ruled by a
No. I'm not saying that at all. I want to make sure that we're providing a service and not
listen, they could
leaving
continue
people
to
without any
steal.
kind of good.
Listen,
I mean-
they could continue to steal if they want, but you know what they could also do? Choose that for themselves.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That makes sense.
And they could keep all their profits or put it into a community kitty and then like from there become, you know, a business of some kind with that they could use as a front and then actually just become that business and then not have to steal anymore unless they love it. Like some people do, I've heard.
So you're sort of like anarcho-communist, huh?
That's what it sounds like.
I don't know what that means.
Kinsey,
What? It sounded good.
I don't believe you know what those two words mean together.
Well, they aren't in the heat of the twin moons, so no.
But hey, if it wasn't me, I would have believed that you knew what they meant. Good on you.
Thank you.
No, it's not important. I'm just learning things about people today. Yeah, no, I guess if you want help, I'm all for it.
And you have my gun.
Oh no, they're too loud. But
No. I mean, I can get my poncho too, maybe. You know.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's gonna make your gun quieter.
yeah, that's
Oh.
true. But no, I just I laid it out and it'll either come to me or it won't, and I'm gonna do a little and then we'll see what happens.
So should we? I don't know. Should we be staying in the same place, or do we want to take some LRC tags that PAX has certainly stolen by now and just communicate with each other through that? I mean, what's the best way to do?
Oh no, this is fine. I'll just tell them that I made friends with you.
Oh no, I mean like for communication, or are we?
I guess if we're gonna stay, I'm gonna get a room.
I mean, we
Right.
should get rooms.
Yeah.
So
if you
we'll
guys-
just stay in the same place then. Okay, that's what I was.
I mean, I'll stay next to you. It's gonna be great to not have this.
we can get separate rooms. I mean, I wanted to make sure. Never mind.
I saw a great deal on a room with a balcony. I'm gonna go get that.
I hope they have two.
Well,
Hey,
I'll see.
Roland, can you pay for mine?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
I assumed that's why you hand me all the money you get.
Yeah, no, I just meant like I wanted one too.
Oh, of course. Yeah, sure. So I go get some hotel rooms and also the stealth drone to sell to this man, and then I'm gonna be just like an engineer.
So you all
Almost like a
want
real job, isn't it?
you all want
That's
separate
about-
premium rooms with balconies.
Well, I mean, no one else really expressed any interest in a balcony room.
I did. That's not true.
I don't recall that.
They're with you, so.
I don't need a balcony room. I do need a room with an exterior window.
Okay.
Exterior meaning out,
Yes, no, I understand.
not outside the mesa, but preferably
I get it.
inside the.
You
okay.
want to be on an exterior wall in case. I get it.
I just need a second way to leave.
Sure. Okay, if there is only one room with a balcony, I'm getting it for me. If there's more than one, I will get Kinsey his own room with a balcony.
All right, so the premium rooms cost 3 spurs each. And that gets you for a week, and then it's 2 spurs per week after that.
Great. I will. So how many balcony rooms am I paying for?
2. One for
Okay.
you and one for Kinsey.
All right.
Pax's room costs 2 because she doesn't want one of the like basically like economy rooms that don't have any like kind of windows or anything. So hers costs 2. She
Great.
gets some amenities, but not a balcony.
I make sure to request a window, which I guess by definition is on an exterior wall.
Yeah, so Roland and Kinsey, you guys get the premium suites. It's a nice 2-room hotel room. It has its own like bathroom basically, and then like the like sleeping chambers with like a little kitchenette that are all in one room. And then attached to that little like the sleeping chambers is one of those balconies that you saw from outside. Where you can step out. It's kind of a semicircle. Roland, you step out, you look, you see the Badlands outstretched in front of you. You can actually see like the direction from which you came. The sun is now starting to set, so it's like that beautiful like purpley like twilight color. The sand is like blowing around, kind of making like almost like dancing as it kind of swirls and like little like dust devils around, and you kind of like breathe it in. You hear the hustle and bustle of Tobias Station behind you. It kind of almost feels like you're in a city. And then something hits your nose, and it's like a sharp, like smoky feeling. And right beneath you, smoking a cigar, is Kinsey. And you hear you hear, oh baby, Joey Rivers just kind of like trickle up towards you with the smoke as Kinsey is lounging on his balcony.
Tell me how you want it to be. Listen, baby, 'cause I need to know
Just gonna
now.
clip on my noise canceling earbuds. Gonna crunch up a tech cube and make a fan.
Just a fan that's like blowing the smoke away from you.
Yes.
Fantastic. Pax, you get to your room. It doesn't have its own bathroom. There's a communal bathroom in the hallway. But there is a window. When you go and you open it up, it doesn't actually look outside. It looks over the trading bazaar.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
That's why I requested that.
And you think if you had to shatter this window and jump, you could probably make it to that catwalk over there.
I could just shatter the window and walk away.
Also that. Most of the interior of Tobias Station is metal. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna like build an engine for this guy or whatever.
All right. So I know we at least got 1 or 2 questions in the Kickstarter exclusive Discord. I guess it's not really Kickstarter exclusive anymore. There's Kickstarter and pre-order exclusive Discord. That's right.
The paid for manifest exclusive Discord.
If you pre-order, you can get an invite to the Discord. Also, if you're watching this and you aren't in the Discord, send us a message. We'll get you in the Discord. Unless you haven't bought anything. Got to keep it exclusive for a little while longer. All right. So, fantastic. Also, if you have any questions in the chat, now would be the time to drop them in. We will happily answer any questions you throw at us. It can be about the session, the characters, the game, whatever. But the 2 questions I have in the Discord are from Argotlam. The first one says, it was established that a Snallygaster hide soft top convertible is probably a bad idea, unless you only really use it for night driving. how effective would a suit of it be for night camouflage, assuming you have a cloak to cover it in the event of light? In fact, actually, I think something like that, you could very easily, as a GM, make a photo replicant poncho into a suit. And I would absolutely let someone use salvage Snallygaster hide as replacement for the materials to make a photo replicant poncho.
We did.
Yeah, in the playtest for sure that's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Snallygaster we killed was turned into my photo replicant poncho.
yeah, the one thing in Manifest is like while everything has a material requirement as far as machinery, technology, first aid cubes, when you are like a trapper and you slay a beast and then roll survival to like salvage some of its useful parts, the GM is encouraged to have you write those in your inventory like you've seen so far in this stream, and then basically like if you're like have a thing in your inventory that's like Snallygaster hide ×2 or whatever, I would definitely let you be like, okay, cool, a photo replicant poncho usually takes this many tech cubes, let's just waive those because you have a friggin' Snallygaster hide, so you don't need tech, you have natural materials that are going to replace this. I've also seen people use like copper bird feathers to make like knives, or like arrowheads, stuff like that.
Kinsey used skunk ape juice to make bombs.
To make vomit bombs.
Bomb bombs?
Bomb bombs?
Bomb bombs.
Lurch merch. And so, yeah, let's see. The other question Argotlam asked, I accidentally actually answered in the Discord because I didn't realize it wasn't something that was going on in the general chat. So, but I'm going to answer it.
Monster Tommy.
I know. I'm going to answer it here on the stream anyways, which Argotlam said, I am continuously impressed by the ability of the average citizen of Manifest to put together things on the fly. How many tech or machinery cubes would it take for an above average citizen to put together a pickup truck? Asking for a friend. And the answer is somewhere around 17 machinery cubes, depending on if you have a couple talents or not, and then also depending on if you want to add anything cool to it, like safety features, or a supercharged engine, or a driver-mounted weapon, those kind of things. But yeah, at its base, a pickup truck's going to be about 17 machinery cubes.
Unless cutting corners? Is that true?
No, cutting corners doesn't reduce the amount of materials.
Not anymore.
It just reduces the time spent and also the quality. But it makes it so you can get it done fast.
I think one thing that took me a little while that wasn't just like immediately obvious playtesting the game, we were just starting to like figure out the mechanics right, was like part of the world of Manifest baked into it is like it is an entire culture of like people recycling things and making new stuff. It's not like tinkerers are not the only people making stuff. Like they're the ones making like laser guns and jetpacks and shit and stuff like that. But like everyone makes a new toaster like every 6 months or whatever out of machinery cubes they just have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The entire thing is even the least crafty like person on Manifest still can take some cubes of materials and find a way to make the thing that they want as long as it's a basic thing. That's how general goods work. You see it all the time where we'll be like, hey, I want like a walkie-talkie. Cool. Use a tech cube up. You have a walkie-talkie now, right?
I'm adding portable fan, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. You spent the cube. Add portable fan. Yeah, with their earbuds, right? I like sometimes to make something simple like that, or something like not super mechanically beneficial like that. It might be necessary for it to require more than one cube to make a general good. Also, sometimes you. Like the GM might require a roll to see how good a thing is. I actually recall one time during the play tests, the players were going across a particularly like terrible part of the Badlands where it was just baking heat, sand dunes, everything was terrible, and they were like, "Whatever, we got this." We got all these. We got all these.
The dumbest thing we ever did.
This is amazing. You shut up.
No, it was incredible. It was. Until recently, it was the dumbest thing that ever worked in an RPG.
they had a bunch of cubes, and they wanted to make not like a vehicle per se, but like basically a mobile cover with like misters and
It was like a paddle boat, but for land.
It was those, you know, those like mobile bars that have like bike pedals,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
That everyone is
that's
like, that is
what it was.
exactly what we made, with a big like patio umbrella over us with like the little misters plastic down.
yeah, and so I had them use up a significant amount of materials, and then I also, because even though it was general goods are kind of by definition things that don't give like a lot of like mechanical benefit, in situations they can give like somewhat situational benefits. So it's like that machine they made is pretty useless everywhere else. It's not going to be like, it's not going to matter anywhere else. So like,
I mean, it might be a big hit on a factory town street. Like, it could catch on.
so depending on how well they rolled, that was going to give them bonuses to their fatigue tests to see how they handled the heat. Right? It was already going to take away some of the negatives that I was applying to be like, this heat is really bad. You guys are at a -6. So they made it, and then they rolled pretty well. So like, it was like they were at like a -1 or even maybe a +2 to like resist fatigue, because they had like such a good little like mobile like bicycle hut that they were driving through the dunes. It was great.
Yeah, we had to leave our van behind, so we once we got to the like top of the mesa, we had to.
Yeah, just couldn't get the van up there.
Yeah.
Well, I could have got the van up there.
Yeah,
It wouldn't have been
shush.
maneuverable.
Shush.
Arget Lam says in the chat, Bennigan's mobile minibar, and then also points out that he would never allow Bennigan's to vanish into the ether. I gotta reveal something to you, Arget Lam. Our group chat for this Twitch stream is just Bennigan's, is the title.
After a series of bar name changes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they kept coming with like Kinsey's Place was another one that was really good. All right, fantastic. So I don't see any other questions popping into the chat. I don't have any more in the Discord. So I believe that is where we're gonna end tonight's stream. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back on again in a week. July, not June. July 7th. So I guess we'll see y'all next month. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Bye. Bye.
Subscribe!
Subscribe. Don't forget. Smash that subscribe button.